One of my darkest times, I was at a party, and it was crazy and loud in there, and I turned the television on, and there was Crystal Lewis singing, "I'd rather Jesus," the way she does it. And I wasn't in the mood to listen to Christian music at that time. And I did my best to turn it, and I did, but I kept going back. You know that thing, it's like a God thing, saying, "Oh, you're trying to get away from me, but I'm going to make your finger go back." And I turned it back and watched the whole thing, and I wept. I can't sit there, I will never be able to say that after that I got on my knees and rededicated my life. I didn't. And it was a while after that. But I believe it was an important time. So when I started singing Christian music again, that was the first song that I brought up, and basically did her arrangement. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I get her to sing a duet with me on this record. So that's, that was just, she's an amazing singer.
Talk about that song now that you mentioned it.
It's called "I Knew You Were Waiting," and then that was done years and years ago by Aretha Franklin, Michael McDonald. Mm-hmm. Aretha Franklin did it with, I think, Michael, this other pop singer. But
Bolton?
No, Michael.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, George Michael. But and it's great. And Jay said, "Man, and I didn't want to go this far out with the record. I didn't want it to be this contemporary." But Jay said, "Man, just to whet the appetite of your old contemporary listeners, let's just throw one on there. Who says you have to do, everything has to be just like this?" And I've always felt that way. So I said, I agreed to do it. I said, but on top of that, you've got Aretha Franklin, and then you got Michael McDonald. And how am I going to sing this song? But I decided to do it, and I think I did okay. But I had a lot of help with Crystal Lewis.
Yeah.
So thank God for her coming in and making it work for the record.
So you had "I'd Rather Have Jesus" that you brought in there, and then everything else you said kept knocking the other tunes down that you were bringing in.
Right.
So as you're listening down with the producers, A&R guys, whatever, on this record, was there a song or two that, like, within the first line or two, you said, doing this one?
Yeah.
Which?
It was "Waking Up the Dawn" and "Come to the River." It only took Jay. I remember we were doing a vocal band record, that the new record that's just out now, I think. And,
Pure and Simple.
Pure and Simple. And we were doing the tracks for that. And Jay drives over and says, "Hey, I want you to listen to some stuff." He had like 8 or 9 songs. The first 2 songs he plays "Waking Up the Dawn," and we look at each other and we listen to the beat, and we're like, yeah, this is good, And I said, absolutely, put it down, And even in that type of situation, those can get booted off, but those stayed strong up until the very end. And "Come to the River" is the same thing, and loved it. And then we had this idea. Russ Taff has been my hero, and Vestal Goodman, and so I was just thankful that Russ accepted to do "Come to the River" with me, and that was a big dream come true for me, and that was so much fun doing that with him and watching him in the studio, just letting. Here he is saying, "Michael, what do you want?" I said, "I want you.
Yeah.
Just do what you do. I ain't going to tell you what to do."
Yeah. That's like asking Babe Ruth, asking you, "So what do you want me to do when a curveball comes across the plate?"
Or Julia Childs, how to cook a cake. Or something, right?
Yeah. Just cook the cake.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.